Cool. Hey, everybody. I'm James Driscoll, and I'm really excited to welcome one of my favorite musicians, a talented artist, and also a winemaker. So if you can help me welcome Brett Dennen.
Thank you, James. Welcome, everybody. I guess you're here already. Thanks for having me. I'm going to play a few songs, and then we're going to talk a little. Sound good? Does anybody here know my music? Yeah. Okay. Well, the witches stay with their limbs akimbo, silhouettes of statues up in the window. Call me to come in with a crooked crescendo, but I don't. Devotees dance among the pantomimes on the promenade into tabernacle on the lawn, but I don't follow because she's mine. She's mine. She's mine, all mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Then I moved across the people's park, and I fled the fire like a spinning spark up onto a porch in the dark, and she was waiting right there for me. She knows that my hands are empty as I go past the mothers of envy, but I won't have to fumble in the dark for my keys. I believe she's mine. She's mine. She's mine. All mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. She's mine. The pupils gathered in the yard around the pulpit made of cards and waited for their leader's words. But his words didn't make much sense, and his mouth had spat out a fist of daggers. His tongue is swirled in a southern swagger, and I looked at all the people gathered, but they were all in a trance, and she's mine. She's mine. She's mine. All mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. I was thrown before the court of Cains, and I tossed my soul to the furnace flames, where all my heroes had been slain, exiled or put in prison. Because they rose above the mess, and because their power posed a threat, and because they spoke of something else when everybody else didn't. And music fills the space between the deities and the prophecies of our bodies pressed seamlessly, silent in the sand. She looks at me so fearlessly, and I take it all too seriously, but it all becomes so clear to me. It makes me understand that she's mine. She's mine. She's mine, all mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine, all mine. Yes, she's mine. Yes, she's mine. Thank you. Thank you. Go if you wanna go, but I won't follow, just so you know. Leave me if you wanna leave, but I won't be here when you come home. I'm gonna move to San Francisco, look up some more friends. I'm gonna get me a Navy Pico and an old Mercedes-Benz. This old town keeps shrinking, there's too many people in my trunk. I'm gonna do a lot of drinking, 'cause it don't hurt when I'm drunk. Go if you wanna go, but I won't follow, just so you know. Leave if you wanna leave, but I won't be here when you come home. I'm gonna rent me an old Victorian down in the lower hay. I'm gonna give me an old accordion and play for the tourists on the Golden Gate. Plant a little garden, paint my bathroom blue. I'm gonna try real hard to get over you. Well, here in the city, life it don't move so slow. There's plenty of good people that I know. Up in North Beach and drink spicy Italian liquor. Down on Market there's a lot of hobos and hustlers. In Hayes Valley, there's a lot of good restaurants. Deep in the Tenderloin, you can have anything you want. Over in the Mission, it's always a sunny day. Yes, it is. It's a real good baseball town, but my team is across the bay. Go if you wanna go, but I won't follow, just so you know. Leave me if you wanna leave, but I won't be here when you come home, when you come home. Thank you. I can take requests if there's songs, but I may shut it down if I. Yeah, I could do that. Maybe I save it for the last song. Oh, right. Put it on hold.
I don't have it ready, but holidays.
That's. I'll shut that one down. You have a second? Okay. reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I can't explain why we live this way. We do it every day. Preachers on the podium speaking to saints, prophets on the sidewalk begging for change, old ladies laughing from the fire escape, cursing my name. I got a basket full of lemons and they all taste the same. A window in a pigeon with a broken wing. You can spend your whole life working for something just to have it taken away. And people walk around pushing back their debts, wearing paychecks like necklaces and bracelets, talking about nothing, not thinking about death. Every little heartbeat, every little breath. People walk a tightrope on a razor's edge, carrying their hurt and hatred and weapons. It could be a bomb or a bullet or a pen or a thought or a word or a sentence. There ain't no reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I don't know why I say the things I say, but I say them anyway. But love will come, set me free. Love will come, set me free. I know it will. Love will come, set me free. I do believe. Love will come, set me free. Yes, it will. Prison walls still standing tall. Some things never change at all. Keep on building prisons, gonna fill them all. Keep on building bombs, gonna drop them all. Working your fingers bare to the bone, breaking your back, make you sell your soul. Like a lung that's filled with coal, suffocating slow. The wind blows wild and I may move, but politicians lie and I am not fools. You don't need no razor, no three-piece suit to argue the truth. Air on my skin and the world under my toes. Slavery stitched into the fabric of my clothes. Chaos and commotion wherever I go. Love I'll try to follow. Love will come, set me free. Love will come, set me free. I know it will. Love will come, set me free. I do believe. Love will come, set me free. Yes, it will. There ain't no reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I can't explain why we live this way. We do it every day. Thank you. I think I can do a couple more.
We do when we were young.
Sure can. When we were young in Sydney. Do I have two more? A couple more or whatever? Oh. Two is good. All right.
How about make you crazy?
Three more? All right. Well, I promise I'm not a poser. I know it's not raining or muddy outside, and I'm wearing these shoes because I'm going to Utah after this. So, and these are the only shoes I brought on the trip. In case you're wondering, why? You're wearing duck boots. Mountain View. That's why. Okay. Well, I'm going to play these three more, and then we're going to do something fun. Yeah? Remember when we were young, we felt like the luckiest ones. Nothing to worry about. The whole world was a hand-me-down. It's hard to be different. It's even harder when you wanna fit in. High school was a catastrophe. It was a failure factory. Turn it up, turn it up. Turn up your radio loud. Don't forget where you come from. It's too soon to be proud. Remember when we were young. Remember when we were young. Remember when we were broke. Money would come and go. The whole world is a hand-me-down, so you've gotta wear it proud. Whenever I reminisce, I know that the greatest risk is giving up the fun for pay. I don't wanna live that way. Hey, tear it up, tear it up, tear out that page. I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna act my age. Remember when we were young. Turn it up, turn it up. Turn up your radio loud. Don't forget where you come from. It's too soon to be proud. Remember when we were young. Remember when we were young. How will I know if I don't ask why? I won't let it pass me by. I see my life in a faded sky, slipping away. Hey, tear it up, tear it up. Tear out that page. I don't wanna grow up, don't wanna act my age. Remember when we were young. Turn it up, turn it up. Turn up your radio loud. Don't forget where you come from. It's too soon to be proud. Remember when we were young. Remember when we were young. Thank you. Thank you. You know it's hard to be self-free, self-see, self. When all around you there are lies just to get you spies, just to get you to buy so they can get you. There are cameras in the sky, places in our living rooms, and there are wolves watching, wearing sheep's costumes. It's enough to make you go crazy. Whoa, It's enough to make you man. Yes, it is. It's enough to make you go crazy. Whoa, yeah. I'm amazed I haven't yet. Isn't it a shame the way we treat each other, beat each other? It's a shame the way we use one another, abuse one another, and screw one another. It's true. They will lock you up in prison, but they won't call it slavery. And there are stolen children raised and trained in armies. It's enough to make you go crazy. Whoa, it's enough to make you mad. Yes, it is. It's enough to make you go crazy. Yeah. I'm amazed I haven't yet. Don't hesitate to speak your mind. Never hesitate to speak your heart. They'll call you crazy when you speak your mind. Never, never hesitate, 'cause it's enough to make you go crazy. It's enough to make you mad. Yes, it is. It's enough to make you go crazy. Yeah. I'm amazed I haven't yet. It's your turn to sing something here. Anybody? No? I'll do something. Alright, help me out. It's enough to make you go crazy. Whoa. Whoa. It's enough to make you mad. Yes, it is. Try it again. It's enough to make you go crazy. I'd be crazy not to care. Thank you. We'll do one more. And then something fun will happen. Involving talking. Okay, all right. Sydney, whenever you feel unhappy, all you have to do is call me. I can make you laugh. Sydney, I know that you were wrongly accused. Yes, you were, and I hope you don't lose your sense of humor. Allegations made in the schoolyard. Soccer moms gossip in the dog park. Their bargains worse than their bite. There are only a couple of crazy cougars. Yes, they are in there. They're bold and spreading their desperate rumors. You know that I was never that cool, but I won't be taken for a fool. If they wanna talk trash, they can talk, but they better come correct. And if you ever need me, call me. I come running straight to you, straight from the airport. Sorry, there's a part you gotta sing there. You say, I come running cut through the customs line, bust down the courthouse door. Sydney, I will testify. Sydney, I will testify to you. For some reason, I sing the chorus better when somebody or a bunch of people are singing that part. So please, next time around. We were in the basement, giving our blood on stage and pretending that we were famous while you were getting framed. I went back to my room in Surrey Hills. Yes, I did, and I didn't know you was in trouble until you came in. Skinny twig in my kitchen told me I was looking at a dead man. I said, Sydney, you're wrong. There's a lot of good people living in L.A. Yes, there are. We won't let nobody take you away. No, we won't. You know that I was never that cool, but I won't be taken for a fool. If they wanna talk trash, they can talk, but they better come correct. And if you ever need me, you just call me. I come running straight to you, straight from the airport. Cut through the customs line, bust down the courthouse door. Sydney, I will testify. Sydney, I will testify. I will testify. I will testify to you, to you. Sydney, whenever you think you need me, call me and I'll come running straight to you. I was never that cool, but I won't be taken for a fool. If they wanna talk trash, they can talk, but they better come correct. If you ever need me, you just call me. I come running to you. Here we go. Straight from the airport, cut through the customs line, bust down the courthouse door. Sydney, I will testify. Come run. Sydney, I will testify. I will testify. I will testify to you, to you, to you. I will testify. All right, thank you.
So I had the pleasure of meeting you a couple months ago at
Yes,
the wine release party.
in Napa.
Napa, yeah. And the first question that I asked you when I had the chance was, of the songs that you've written, which is your personal favorite?
Mm-hmm.
And without any hesitation, you said, there is so much more. Has it changed, or is it still that?
That's probably, yes. That I think I don't know if favorite is the right way for me to describe it. I think it's the song that I'm most pleased with myself for writing. And I apologize because I didn't play it, but
That's fine, but I was hoping
I have. So the song doesn't have any chorus, but I still think it's a good song. And it's not really clear what the song is about, but I still think it's a really good song. And the song is kind of monotonous, but it's still very good in my opinion. And I think for all those reasons, I had a song without a chorus that is kind of sleepy, that you're not really sure what's going on. It's about a lot of things lyrically, but it still comes across as a good song, and it's subtle and it's simple. And as an artist, I'm always trying to find the best to say the most, the best way to say the most with the least amount of words and chords and time. but still evoke some sort of emotion and make people think. And whatever it was I was going through, or whatever I was going for, I did it. And it's the only time I've done it so well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
One other thing I was thinking about, so a while back you toured with John Mayer,
Uh-huh.
and he was talking about your music, and he said that you paint landscapes with your music. And I was thinking about that in the context of where you are when you write your music. And I know that I think you retreated to the mountains to work on an album, and now you live near the ocean in Venice Beach. Mm-hmm. So how does the landscape influence the music that you write and the albums that you work on?
Well, I think he was referring to just the imagery. I like my favorite writers are the ones who don't just say like I love you, but they'll say I love you and this is what's happening around me while I'm telling you I love you, and this is, there's here the sights and sounds and smells, and give you some sort of imagery to help not only like give you something to think about and set the mood, but also give you a sense of place and time, and even let the imagery tell some of the story. But landscape literally has a lot to do with the songs I write. Indirectly, just I have a hard time writing songs in a city. I used to be able to write songs on the road or in New York or San Francisco or wherever with ease, just because I could tap into the creative energy or whatever's happening in the city that's kind of pulsating and grab images from what I see all around me. But it got harder and harder for me to do that over the years. And now what I need is quiet. And I need a place like the mountains or the desert or the ocean where it's like I'm staring out into some form of a vast expanse, which allows me to turn a little more inside and focus. And I need quiet. And I usually need a transitional season. The list is getting longer. It's got to be quiet. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to be open. It's got to have some sort of strong landscape energy, like a mountain. Have to be sad. It has to be like a transitional season, like autumn or spring. Usually wine is involved.
But do you find if you're out in the desert, are you more likely to write a sad song than if you're near the ocean and you hear the waves and you might have a little bit more beat or something a little bit more?
Yeah, I think totally. I think the most introspective songs I write come from being in the desert, and I think being around an ocean makes me. I don't know, the ocean's a different kind of energy, and there's all those ions exploding all around me that make me feel good. So ocean, I would say, or a river or a waterfall would make me feel a little more upbeat. The mountains, though, is a strong, kind of like we've been here forever, stoic energy that I don't know what that does to me.
So as you're describing those things, I don't know about you guys, but I got all these crazy images in my head of like Brett playing music on top of a mountain or in a waterfall. And
Yeah.
like I know that doesn't make any sense, but what does it look like when you write? Like, do you scribble on the back of a napkin? Do you write on your phone? Are you
It's hard
in
for
the
me to
bathroom?
talk about writing. It's hard for me to talk about writing because sometimes writing is just going to work, just sitting down and forcing yourself to write, and then sometimes writing is catching inspiration like it's some kind of unicorn or some thing that you don't really believe in, but you don't. It's here. All of a sudden, it's here, and you're really inspired, and you're just trying to capture the moment with a net or something like that. Or the net being whatever tools whatever chords you know or words you know. Sometimes songs come from just months and months of writing on a computer, a laptop, or scribbling down lyrics and poems and trying to find a way to put it to music. Sometimes like you're messing around on a guitar and you have a progression or a melody and you're like, sort of words go with this, and sometimes you put the two together. Sometimes you slave over it. Sometimes it comes like that. You never really know. That's why people who know me and know that when I have to write, I disappear for a while because I torture myself a lot. And I don't feel good about myself unless I write. It's not healthy, but it works for me.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we were talking before your performance about what you're working on right now and where you are right now. And I think there's an album coming out in May.
Yes.
That I think we're all pretty excited about. But you're still working on it. You said that you've finished with the recordings, but there are songs that are going to have to be cut, and there are songs that are going to have to be reordered. Can you talk about where you are right now in terms of your work?
The album is finished. The recording is done, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's for who I am as a person and an artist, and my process and the craft that I've developed as a writer and the things that I want to say. I feel very confident in what I've done. We're just figuring out how to release it. And that could be the marketing, that could be the album packaging isn't done yet. When you it's the way the industry is now, is artists like myself, we put albums out every 3, 2, sometimes 4 or 5 years. And so you really have to go in with a lot of confidence when you're putting it out there and stand behind it. And we're just trying to figure out the best way to do that, because I really want people to hear it, and I want it to get noticed, and I want to engage my fans, but I also want to reach out to new people. And so it may sound easy, like, oh, you just put it out and you sing your heart out and it's great, but there's like all kinds of things that you have to consider, like, what's the label releasing at that time? Is there going to be competition with this? When should we tour? How, like, what's, So that's where we're figuring out that boring stuff.
So boring stuff aside, I'm curious about your intention. Like, specifically, if there's one intention that you have when you play music, and especially when you share it at a concert, your shows can create a really intimate environment with the audience. And so I'm wondering, from your perspective, I'm sure you have several intentions, but what's the one overriding intention that you have when you share your music with people, when you play the show?
It's just, simply put, I want to make people feel good. The way I want to make them feel good is I want to be open and vulnerable and sensitive in the songs I write and the way that I play them. And I hope that it allows people to hear the song with an open heart and feel, maybe go through some emotions at the end of the concert or the end of the album, come out of it feeling good. I may be dreaming, but I would really love if people tapped into their own, whatever they're going through, their own struggles, and feel good about themselves beyond just feeling good. I want to give people hope and make them cry and dance and just feel good about life, comfortable with themselves. Because those are all things that I struggle with. And sometimes I want to make a sad song or a sad album or an angry song or an angry album, but I can't. It never seems to happen because I want to put something positive out, even if it comes from a place of sadness. Like, I just want it, simply put, again, to make people feel good. And I feel like they're on drugs.
The legal ones, right? Thinking about that, so
by acting like I'm stoned, then I make people like feel high.
well, you did drink a lot of tea before the performance.
I did. I was dragging.
About like 4 cups.
Yeah, it's gonna kick in any minute.
Well, I also noticed that it seems like a lot of your songs are about heartbreak and the healing afterwards. And I was kind of wondering about that, and in terms of like, what are the saddest lyrics you think you've ever written?
I've written a lot about death and loss, that is for sure, and then heartbreak romantically and just through letting go and change and just the different waves and ripples and things in life that are hard to navigate.
Is there a single line that when you sing it breaks your heart a little bit every time? But you guys know his music. There's a lot of heartbreak in it.
Well, I'd have to think about it.
Or how about this? Is there a line that always brings you a lot of happiness, that's always positive, that always resonates with the audience?
Yeah, well, one of the songs I played here when I was over there was a song called When We Were Young, and there's a line in there about high school being a failure factory. And I don't do it that often, but that's like makes me feel good because I feel like I'm sticking it to somebody, you know? And then I also feel that most people can relate to that in one way or another. It might not have been high school, but maybe like on a social economic level, they can be like, yes, high schools are failure factories. He is right. Or they can be like, yeah, nobody understood me in high school. I like singing that one. That's the one that makes me feel good.
Okay. Cool. I only have a couple more questions, but we do have a mic for audience questions if there's anything that you wanted to ask Brett. But the first of two questions I have for you is, so this is really random and awkward. I apologize ahead of time. But you have a line that I really like in the song, Who Do You Think You Are? And I think it's, there's a homeless man sleeping in the parking lot. I wonder what he dreams about. And so I'm wondering, you're a musician. Do musicians hear music in their dreams?
Yes.
Could I get some of that?
You want some of my dreaming music? Or
I don't have any music in my dreams, and I think if I had music in my dreams, they'd be a lot better.
You never hear music in your dreams?
No, I've been trying to.
Even a song that you know, like Going to the Chapel. I don't know why I said that one, but that never comes, like a song that you know and love. Like if you
I would love that.
it's never happened.
No.
Wow. Do you see colors?
I don't know.
Do you smell?
I hope so.
You fly?
Yes.
Do other people hear music in their dreams? Yeah.
He's a musician.
And you've heard something that you wrote in a dream and you woke up and found it on whatever instrument you play? Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know when you play music, you're constantly creating pathways in your brain for melodies, and melodies are everywhere too. I mean, I may come up with some brilliant melody and then realize that it's not mine. It's in 1,000 other songs, and it's not. Well, it may still be brilliant, but I didn't come up with it. Melodies they're all in our subconscious. They're all around us, and dreaming definitely taps into everything that's around us that we're not aware of. Especially emotions, things that we don't know that we are feeling or haven't felt or are ignoring or repressing. But I don't remember my dreams that much.
But you remember that there's music in it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, yes, sometimes. Sometimes I'll wake up with a melody in my head that came from a dream, and I'll turn it into something. Actually, it happened in a song I wrote for this new record, but it didn't make it on the new record, so it's a pointless story.
Cool. So the last question that I had has to do with partly how you came to be here today.
Mm-hmm.
So your
Wine,
yeah. Your business partner Ian was interested in promoting the new label, beautiful label. I know that you did the artwork for it, and it's Delicious Wine Too, Charismatic Fool. And so Ian wanted to have a wine tasting here, and I thought, yeah, that sounds great, but can Brett come, and can he bring his guitar, and can he play and talk, and can we get everything out of him that we could?
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully we have.
what did he say, yes or no?
Yeah, you're here, so it all worked out.
Okay.
But winemaking was interesting. So you're accomplished as a musician, you're accomplished as a painter, and now you're making wine. How did that happen, and how's it going?
Well, my friends Ian and Steve have a business where they get artists such as myself who they think have some sort of a lifestyle brand, but also have a love of wine and an interest in making wine, because I don't know how to make wine. I'm learning through them. And so we get together and we talk and we dream up an idea, and they say, like, if you're going to make a wine, what would it be? And I say, a rosé. And they say, okay. How are we going to make this work? What about a sparkling rosé? And then we start tasting wine, and they work with a actual winemaker, and they buy grapes or juice, and everybody gets involved, and I just paint the label and drink a lot of wine, and it's a collaborative process, but I can't take credit for, other than the fact that I feel like it's collaborative, but the wine comes out tasting like me.
Can you describe that? What do you taste like?
Well, it's rosé. It's the same color as my hair, and it's elegant and graceful, but most of the time it's bubbly, and it's all about celebrating, but it has its moments of being graceful. We went down this road with the sparkling rosé because we wanted a wine that it was all about celebration, but we wanted to make it very approachable and easy drinking so that every day could be a celebration. You don't have to wait till New Year's or your birthday or whatever. And it's at a price point that's affordable, so that you could just make tonight or today or this morning or whenever, the bathtub or the shower, a celebration, and just feel good about life.
Well, you being here, I think, makes a lot of us feel pretty good about life. So thanks for that performance.
Yes.
Are there any audience
Welcome.
questions? Cool. I think there's a microphone too running around.
Ooh. Attached to a person.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming, Brett. You described how you want in your shows, you want your audience to feel good, not just in the moment, but feel good about themselves. From the audience that you bring to them, from the attitude that you bring to them, which is an attitude of like silliness and vulnerability. How would you say that attitude helps them really understand and makes them feel good about themselves?
Well, thank you, first of all, for saying it much better than I attempted to say it. That is exactly it. Silliness, vulnerable openness. I think, like, when I didn't do it today, but normally when I perform with a band, usually, always, solo acoustic as well, I don't wear shoes just because I feel more comfortable barefoot. So then everybody is staring at my feet, which, I'm not a foot model or anything like that. So here's this tall guy with red hair who's kind of awkward, and I dance, and my dance moves are kind of awkward, but I'm just trying to tap into, I'm doing it because I'm trying to, like, harness my inner joy. I'm just trying to tap into something, to get into it, to play, to feel, and go to another place where I'm really not aware of what is happening with my body. And I hope that people look at that and they see, oh, here's a guy believing in himself. He doesn't look like the people you hear on the radio. He doesn't sound like the people you hear on the radio. But he's up there having the time of his life, and he's playing good music, and he's singing. He's tapping into something that hopefully makes them feel good about their own skin and situation and set of circumstances, at least in the moment, and we can all just have a great time together, and I can feed off of their energy, and then when they walk out, they can feel good.
Hi there. I guess music is an avenue towards like coming out on the other end with more clarity in some sense. And then I guess the question would be, do you agree? And if so, what have you learned about yourself?
It's a good point to make, that I may be going through something, and I write to try to figure out what it is I'm going through. What have I learned about myself? What sort of clarity have I gained? With this most recent record that I've made that's yet to come out, I've learned that I'm a lot more sensitive and emotional than I thought I was. And the songs that I wrote for this record came at a time when I didn't have a lot of confidence. And I think it just, a lot of things, just where I am in life, being in my mid-30s, where I am in my career, like wanting more and wanting to branch out artistically, wanting to like expand, and I'm always trying to push myself artistically to some new territory. I don't know what it is or where it is, but to feel like I'm like on to something, or like at least something new for me. And if I'm not feeling that way, I'm uninspired, and I'm learning that I need to write all the time. I need to be productive as an artist, but I also need to take care of myself as a person emotionally. That's all I've really learned with so far with this record. Just things about myself, I guess. And I'm lucky to do it in a fashion that allows me to have a career and do what I love. And hopefully people relate. Yeah? Oh yeah, you need it because we're broadcasting.
Hi, Brett. I just wanted to know more like superficial question. I know you're from San Francisco, and I was surprised that you moved to LA or to Venice Beach.
I'm actually from Oakdale, which is a couple hours from here.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to see a concert or something, we'd come to San Francisco. And I don't know if you want to get me started on that second half of the question, because I have this theory that like the North just always hates on the South. It's like people in LA think people in San Diego are the worst, and then people in San Francisco think people in LA are the worst, and then people in Portland think that San Francisco, I don't know, maybe I'm making this up, but from what I've noticed from spending a lot of time in the Bay Area and from spending a lot of time in Los Angeles, is people in the Bay Area always say LA is so this, that, the people are so this, that, and that. And then people in Los Angeles just say, it's just cold up there. There's a lot of good people in Los Angeles, and it's one of the most vibrant cities we have. And I don't want to try to convince everybody to. I'm not an ambassador to LA, but I moved down there to try to make something happen with music. And it did, and I might have been able to do that up here. I might have been able to do it in Nashville or New York, but LA has an amazing mix of culture, and the weather's incredible, and the ocean is beautiful, and all my favorite music, most of it came out of Los Angeles in the 70s, and I wanted to see if I could have a part of that.
What is some of that music? Like the Doors?
The Doors I'm starting to appreciate, but I love like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's one of the, like that whole scene. The Eagles and Jackson Browne, and there's different eras in music that are just completely golden, and different scenes come from different towns. Like you have the British, the London in the 60s was it, you know, and LA in the early 70s, that was a special moment in music that is probably my favorite era of music.
Thank you for first
Yes.
of all, go banana slugs.
All right.
My question is, did you have a moment or a pivotal point in your career or your journey where you were at a crossroads and you like didn't know if to keep going or do something else? And if you were, like, how did you make the decision to continue down the path of music?
I had one of those recently when I was right before I was writing this album. I just felt a little tapped out and uninspired, and I was going through a lot personally. My girlfriend and I sort of like took a break, and I felt like taking a break from music, but I didn't tell anybody about it because I felt pressure, because I'm on a major label now and I wanted to produce for them and make everybody happy, and so I didn't really deal with it. I just told everybody, I have some songs, they're almost done. and then I somehow worked through it just by spending a lot of time alone, writing, being in the mountains. When I first started writing songs, I wasn't like I was trying to figure out life by working I would work at a summer camp, and then in the spring and the fall I'd work at another camp, like an outdoor ed camp up here. And then I'd have big gaps of time where I didn't know what to do. I'd go move back in with my parents. And when I'd write songs at that period in my life for my first record, it was kind of like music. I didn't know anything about the industry or what it was like to be a musician. I just wanted to be in the band that I saw at the local club that seats 300 people. I was like, if I could be that, I'm set. I made it. And so I was writing songs dreaming of that, and every time I wrote a song, it was a thrilling experience because I'm introducing myself through music. And then you start to do it full time, and sometimes inspiration runs out and you have to find new ways to say what you said before, or go down new avenues, and it's tough to keep it going. And sometimes if you don't feel inspired and what you have to do requires inspiration, it's hard to separate yourself from your music or from your art, and it can lead to a really deep rut that you can't get out of. But a piece of music or a concert you go see or something can like just make everything feel good again.
Will you come through Santa Cruz on your next tour?
We are planning a tour right now, and I don't think we have Santa Cruz in there. But I will eventually. Probably in the fall. At the soonest.
I think we have time for one more question.
Awesome, that's me. So first of all, I learned how to play guitar and like singing and start playing music from your music. So I think like my first Starbucks show ever, I did like a bunch of your covers. So this is like awesome that I'm here right now. But we kind of just talked about how you make people feel kind of like vulnerable and tap into their emotions. And I think part of that is like your lyrics are so personal. And maybe this comes easy to you, but if you have any advice for those of us who it doesn't, like sometimes when I write music, I'm worried to like be so exposed to everyone, like it's like your most inner thoughts. Like, do you have any advice on how to get past that?
Something I learned recently that is really hard for me to admit is that most people, when they listen to music, the lyrics don't matter. And if they do matter, they come second to the music. And that was hard for me to swallow because I spent so much time slaving over lyrics. And you can have an amazing lyric that's put to mediocre music, and you put that up against amazing music with a mediocre lyric, and that will win. The music always wins because music has a certain magic that you can't grab or hold or feel. It just gets into, it unlocks memories and reminds you of things and gets inside your heart and stirs your emotions up. Lyrics can do the same thing, but the music does it in a different way. So the point is, don't beat yourself up over it too much. Just make sure it's honest. It doesn't have to be honest, but if you sound like someone who really wants to say something truthful, then just be honest. And if you really want to be honest and you want to say something from the heart, but you don't know how to say it, I think you do. You just aren't giving yourself permission, or you're not digging deep enough, or there's something that you know you want to say, but maybe you're afraid to say it. And I'm projecting on you right now because that's what always works for me. If there's something that I'm afraid to say, it is the most meaningful to sing. And it doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to, there's no rules. It's just, as long as it's authentic.
Thank you. On that note, I think thank you for being here.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing your music with us today.